Most people think hard work and discipline are the magic keys to wealth. Wake up early, grind all day, stick to a routine, success will follow. But if that were true, every factory worker would be rich. Every street cleaner would be a millionaire. Every farmhand waking at 4 a.m. would be living in a mansion. The truth is harder to swallow. Hard work alone does not guarantee wealth. Discipline without direction just keeps you stuck longer. It's like climbing a ladder that's leaning on the wrong wall. Think about this. A food vendor wakes up before dawn, prepares meals, works long hours in the heat, goes to sleep exhausted, does it again the next day. Now compare that to a software engineer who automates a process once and gets paid repeatedly. One is running, the other is building. Both can be disciplined, but only one has leverage. You've probably heard success stories that focus on the grind. I woke up at 5 a.m. every day. I gave up weekends. I stayed disciplined. But what they don't tell you is what they were working on. The path matters more than the pace. Imagine two people. One is jogging on a treadmill. The other is walking toward a mountain of gold. Who's getting richer? We admire self-discipline, but we rarely ask if it's aimed at the right goal. If you're selling something no one wants, it doesn't matter how consistent you are. If your job pays a flat salary, waking up earlier won't double your income. If your skills don't scale, your hours won't either. Now pause and ask yourself, what exactly are you being disciplined for? Is it moving you forward or just keeping you busy? The hard truth is that effort isn't rare. Everyone is trying. What's rare is alignment. The rich don't just work hard, they work in the right direction. And once they find that direction, discipline becomes a multiplier, not a substitute for clarity. So stop obsessing over hustle. Start obsessing over aim. The people you admire aren't just more focused. They're focused on something that grows. Are you? Keep going. It gets better. Choosing the right path is more important than trying harder on the wrong one. If you're pushing forward but facing the wrong way, you're not progressing, you're getting lost faster. Many people confuse action with progress. They stay busy to avoid asking if their efforts even matter. But being busy isn't the same as being smart. A street vendor might sell breakfast from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. They work hard. They're consistent. But their ceiling is low. There's only so much one person can cook and sell. Now think of someone who builds a system, a digital product, an app, an online course. That product works while they sleep. That's leverage. And leverage doesn't come from more discipline. It comes from better decisions. Direction means picking something that scales, something that solves real problems, something that grows without needing more hours from you. A former classmate starts two businesses. One is a local cafe. One is a software tool that helps cafes manage orders. Guess which one grows faster? Guess which one can run without the owner? The key difference isn't effort, it's path. Wealthy people pick industries where money flows easily. They look for scalable impact. They build once and sell many times. Poor people often stay stuck in time for money trades, hourly jobs, manual labor, tasks that reset every day. It's not their fault. Most people were never taught how to think about leverage. Direction also means saying no. No to distractions. No to tempting detours. No to opportunities that pull you off course. A clear direction filters your decisions. You don't waste time wondering what to do next. You already know the goal. You just need to walk toward it. But even when people find the right direction, many still fail. Why? Because clarity isn't enough without execution. That's where most fall apart. And that's where we're going next. Even with the right path, most people still don't get results. They know what to do. They just don't do it. This is the execution gap, the space between intention and action, where dreams go to die. It's not lack of information. It's not lack of resources. It's lack of follow-through. You plan to wake up early, you set the alarm, but you hit snooze. You promise to eat clean, then order fast food. You say you'll start the business, but scroll social media instead. The problem isn't knowledge, it's discipline in the moment. The hardest part isn't planning the workout, it's showing up when you don't feel like it. A goal without execution is just a wish. An idea without action is just noise. Everyone has goals, only a few take action daily. Even fewer stick to it when it gets boring. That's why results are rare. A friend wanted to lose weight. They bought a gym membership, read nutrition books, watched fitness videos. 2 months later, nothing changed. Because they skipped the one thing that matters, Consistency. It's easy to be motivated for a week, hard to be consistent for a year. Execution isn't sexy, it's not exciting, it's just showing up. Again and again and again. This is where most people quit. Not because it's impossible, but because it's uncomfortable, and because they expect motivation to carry them. It won't. Discipline is what kicks in when motivation dies. But even discipline fails if you haven't trained it. That's why emotional fuel matters more than logic. You need something deeper to pull you through the grind. Let's talk about what really moves people to act. People don't move because of logic. They move because of emotion. Fear and desire are stronger than reason. Warren Buffett once said that human behavior is driven by greed and fear. He wasn't wrong. You don't wake up early because it's smart. You wake up because you're scared of being late, or because you want something badly enough. Emotion is what pushes people to act when logic fails. If your job doesn't excite you, you'll hit snooze. If your goals don't scare you or light you up, you won't follow through. You can't out-discipline boredom forever. Fear of loss is often stronger than desire for gain. That's why deadlines work. That's why bills get paid before savings grow. But desire can be just as powerful when focused. If you want something deeply, you'll change for it. A man once worked 3 jobs to pay for his daughter's medical bills. He didn't complain, he didn't procrastinate. He just did it. Because he had a reason. Discipline is not a personality trait. It's a response to strong emotional drivers. Without emotion, there's no engine behind the habit. Think of something you used to procrastinate. Now think of the moment it became urgent. Suddenly, you moved fast. That's not discipline, that's pressure. The trick is to create that pressure yourself before life forces it on you. Set up triggers that remind you of what you're chasing, what you're afraid of losing, what you'll regret if you don't act. A vision board isn't childish. It's a tool. A poster on the wall isn't decorative. It's fuel. Give yourself something to fear and something to fight for. That's how you make discipline stick. We're about to get practical. Let's talk about tools that train your behavior, even when you don't feel like it. Here are simple tools you can use to control your behavior. Not motivation, not willpower, just systems that make bad choices harder and good ones easier. First tool, add friction to bad habits. If something is too easy to access, you'll do it without thinking. If you want to break a habit, make it annoying. A man addicted to mobile games deleted every game on his phone. He didn't stop there. He changed the App Store password to a long random string he saved in a locked note. Now if he wants to play, he has to go through multiple steps. Most days he doesn't bother. The key is not strength, it's speed bumps. Second tool, reduce exposure to temptations. Don't trust your willpower. Remove the trigger. If junk food is in the house, you'll eat it. If social media apps are on your phone, you'll open them. Delete what distracts you. Block what tempts you. If your goal is to write every morning, don't wake up to a phone full of notifications. Wake up to a notebook on your desk. Third tool, stack your environment with reminders of who you want to be. Tape your goals to your mirror. Set your passwords to reflect your vision. Surround yourself with symbols of discipline. A small poster, a quote, a picture of your future home. Use them all. When you see your goals often, you start to feel like they're possible. When your surroundings are aligned with your values, your actions follow. Discipline isn't a fight. It's a setup. It's designing your life so the right actions become the default. The passive path is all about this. Building systems that do the heavy lifting. Letting your environment do the coaching. Now that you've cleared distractions, what comes next is even more powerful. Let's talk about how to use positive triggers to create unstoppable habits. Positive triggers can pull you forward faster than fear can push you. These are the reminders of what you want. They make discipline feel natural. If your goal is to wake up early, give yourself a reason that excites you, not just an alarm clock, something visual, something emotional. A man trying to improve his life taped a photo of his dream car above his bed. Every morning when he opened his eyes, it was the first thing he saw. He didn't just wake up, he got up with purpose. Another person had a poster of Kobe Bryant on the wall, with the words, "Have you seen Los Angeles at 4 a.m.? Kobe trained while the city slept." That poster turned into a trigger. It reminded him that excellence isn't random. These visual cues matter. They rewire your subconscious. They speak to the part of you that still wants to quit. You can write your goal on a sticky note and put it on your bathroom mirror. You can set your phone wallpaper to your bank balance target. You can set calendar alerts with quotes that matter to you. Your surroundings shape your behavior. Don't let your walls be empty. Let them talk to you. Even businesses use this. In a sales office, there was a banner that said, "Every time you slack off, your kids lose opportunities." Extreme? Yes. Effective? Also yes. It's not about guilt. It's about truth. Actions have costs. Discipline saves you from paying the wrong ones. When your goals are always in front of you, you don't need to remember. You react. You move. You align. This is the passive path. Making discipline automatic, replacing struggle with setup, making success the default setting. But triggers and posters aren't enough if you don't build a system around them. Let's go one step deeper and create a structure that forces you to win. Motivation fades. Systems stay. If you want to win, stop relying on willpower. Build a system that traps you into progress. A system is a routine you follow no matter how you feel. It's a default you return to. It removes decision-making. It removes excuses. You don't need to feel ready, you just need to show up. A writer blocks social media on their laptop from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Every morning they sit down and write for 90 minutes. No distractions, no debate. That's a system. A fitness trainer sets out clothes the night before, their alarm is across the room, their workout plan is taped to the wall. By the time they reach for the phone, the routine has already begun. Systems beat moods. They beat tired days. They beat laziness. Start with one habit, one time, one place. Anchor it to a trigger. Drink water right after brushing your teeth. Read 10 pages after your first cup of coffee. Stretch while your food is heating up. Build chains. Stack wins. Automation isn't just for machines. It's for people who want to free their mind from daily decisions. If you need to work on your business, schedule it. Same hour, same days, no negotiations. If you want to learn a new skill, assign time for it. Don't wait for gaps in your day. Block time, or it won't happen. Discipline looks hard from the outside, but inside, it's just structure. Smart habits, clear systems, strong defaults. The passive path is built on this. It's not about grinding forever. It's about designing your day so success happens by default. Now let's talk about taking back control of your life by taking ownership. Not just of your time, but your entire direction. Ownership changes everything. When you own the outcome, you start behaving differently. Most people work for someone else. Their output is tied to someone else's goals. Their effort is capped by someone else's system. Their time is traded for fixed wages. That creates a disconnect. Why show up early if it doesn't change your pay? Why care more if the rewards don't scale? That's why employees often burn out. They give effort but don't see growth. They stay busy but feel stuck. When you take ownership, that changes. You stop waiting. You stop blaming. You stop depending. A freelance designer charges per project. More skill equals more income. More output equals more opportunity. They feel the pressure, but they also feel the power. Ownership builds discipline. Because now failure hits your pocket. Laziness delays your future. No one else is responsible. Even if you have a job, you can start shifting your mindset. Own your skill development. Own your side hustle. Own your finances. Stop saying, "I have to." Start saying, "I choose to." When it's your path, you walk differently. You notice details. You show up early without being asked. You stay late because you care. A business owner tracks every dollar. A creator rewatches their own videos to spot flaws. A builder reviews every mistake to improve the next step. They don't do it for praise. They do it because it matters. It's theirs. The passive path leads here, to owning your work, owning your schedule, owning your future. But even ownership isn't enough if you don't build inner fuel. You need internal leverage to stay consistent long term. Let's build that next. Internal leverage is the ability to keep going without external rewards. It's the quiet engine behind consistency. Most people wait for validation. A like, a comment, a paycheck. When it doesn't come fast enough, they quit. But internal leverage doesn't depend on applause. It comes from knowing who you want to become. A beginner filmmaker shoots short videos every week. No views, no praise. Still posts every Sunday, because each video is a step closer to mastery. That's internal leverage. You don't lift weights just to post selfies. You lift because you're building someone stronger, someone more focused, more capable. You don't read because it's trendy. You read because your future self needs better thoughts, better questions, better decisions. Focus on the identity, not the outcome. Don't aim to have discipline. Be someone who shows up anyway. Be someone who does the hard thing without being told. When you tie your habits to your self-image, they stick. I'm not someone who skips workouts. I'm not someone who scrolls first thing in the morning. I'm someone who finishes what I start. Start small. Choose one behavior. Tie it to your future identity. Reinforce it daily. This is the core of the passive path. Not pushing harder, but aligning deeper. Letting action become automatic because it matches who you are. And when your identity and your habits align, something else starts to happen. You stop struggling for discipline. You start building wealth. Let's connect the dots between self-control and financial freedom. Discipline doesn't make you rich, but it builds the bridge that gets you there. The wealthy don't succeed just because they try harder. They succeed because they use discipline to build leverage. And leverage multiplies results. Leverage is when one action creates value over time. A video that earns ad revenue for years. A product that sells while you sleep. A system that runs without you. To build that, you need consistency. And consistency needs structure. Discipline becomes the scaffolding. You build when others relax. You create when others consume. You refine when others complain. That's how content turns into income. How products replace paychecks. How time becomes your asset, not your limit. You won't see results immediately, but you will build momentum, and momentum compounds. A blog with 10 readers becomes a newsletter with 100. A YouTube channel with 10 videos becomes a brand. A tiny course becomes passive cash flow. This is the passive path. You put in disciplined effort now to escape the time trap later. You stop trading hours and start creating assets. But you must focus. Pick one direction, stick to it longer than feels comfortable. Let compounding do the rest. It doesn't take genius. It takes patience. And it takes discipline aimed at the right thing. Now that you understand how leverage and discipline work together, it's time to zoom out. We live in the best era to build freedom from scratch. Let's talk about the opportunity you have right now. This internet changed everything. It erased gatekeepers. It lowered startup costs. It gave anyone with discipline a way out. Before you needed permission, a degree, a resume, an office. Now you need a phone, an idea, a few hours of focused work. This is the first time in history when regular people can build wealth without asking anyone for approval. You can post, sell, build, monetize. And it does not take millions of followers. It takes consistency. It takes knowing your niche. It takes delivering value over time. One video, one product, one offer, all of it can scale. But most people scroll instead of create. They consume instead of build. They watch instead of apply. You don't need to be first. You need to be reliable. You don't need to go viral. You need to keep showing up. A small channel with a clear message can earn more than a massive one with no focus. A side hustle done weekly can replace a full-time income. A digital product can beat a traditional job. The passive path is wide open, but only if you take it seriously. Discipline builds the content. Leverage multiplies it. The internet delivers it. But even with all this opportunity, most people still lose. Let's break down why and how not to be one of them. Most people stay broke because they work hard on the wrong things. They stay busy but never build. They wait for motivation but never take control. They chase every trend. Jump from one idea to another. Start without finishing. Plan without executing. They blame the system, blame their boss, blame the market, but never look at their own patterns. Some dream of freedom but spend hours binge-watching shows. Some want to start a business but never block time to build it. Some complain about money but never track their spending. They want results without discomfort, growth without friction, success without self-control. They keep waiting for a better mood, a perfect time, an easier path, but it never comes. They fear boredom, but discipline is boring. They avoid repetition, but repetition builds mastery. They stay stuck in survival mode, always reacting, never designing, always spending, never investing. They confuse movement with progress, effort with direction, intentions with identity. This is not about talent. It's about habits, not about luck, but choices made daily. The passive path doesn't reward everyone. It rewards those who build, who take ownership, who show up even when it's silent, even when it's slow. If you're tired of being stuck, it's time to change how you live. Let's talk about training your inner warrior, the part of you that never quits. You need a part of you that doesn't negotiate with excuses. That part is your inner warrior. It's not loud, it's not flashy, it's the voice that tells you to keep going when no one's watching. To train it, you need rituals. Simple actions you repeat every day, actions that build grit, discipline, Resilience, wake up at the same time. Make your bed, move your body, eat food that fuels you. Not for weight loss, but for control. Set a non-negotiable hour to build your dream. No calls, no scrolling, no interruptions. Track your behavior, not just your goals. Did you show up? Did you stay focused? Did you follow through? Your habits are your weapons. Sharpen them, protect them, use them. Eliminate friction in your morning. Decide your clothes the night before. Prepare your workspace in advance. Charge your devices. Silence your doubts. Build a space that feels like purpose. Let your room reflect your ambition. Let your routine reflect your priorities. Cut off low-energy habits. Late night scrolling, overstimulating media, mindless consumption. Every small discipline trains the warrior. Every choice you make is practice. Every skipped excuse is a rep. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be deliberate and consistent. The passive path is powered by people who build systems for their future self, people who delay comfort, who sacrifice ease, who choose structure over chaos. That's what separates the drifting from the driven. Now let's define what success really means, beyond money, beyond goals. What it looks like when discipline turns into peace. Success isn't just about money, it's about control. Control of your time, control of your energy, control of your choices. Real success means peace, waking up without dread, spending time on what matters, choosing work instead of escaping it. It's freedom to say no, freedom to unplug, freedom to walk away from bad deals and fake urgency. The wealthy don't just have cash, they have time margins, decision space, mental clarity. They don't rush, they don't chase, they build, they wait, they act when it matters. Their calendars are clean, their minds are quiet, their days are simple. That's what discipline builds. Not just effort, not just income, but space. Space to think, to rest, to create. They earn while they sleep, because they built assets. They say no often, because they know what matters. The passive path isn't about early retirement. It's about intelligent design. Crafting a life that doesn't drain you, where work feeds your mission, not your stress. You're not here to burn out. You're here to take control and use discipline as the foundation, not the punishment, because discipline isn't restriction, it's freedom with structure, freedom that lasts. Now let's wrap it up with a reminder you'll want to carry every day, the final lesson, the bottom line, what it all comes down to. If you made it this far, you already know the truth. Discipline alone won't make you rich, but without it, nothing else will work. The right path, the right habits, the right systems, that's the formula. Start small, stay consistent, build leverage, and design a life that works for you, not against you. If this video helped you, like it. If you want more content like this, subscribe, drop a comment, and share this video with someone you care about. Someone who needs this message, someone who's ready for a better path. You're not alone, and you're not stuck. You just need to stay focused. Good luck. Feel free to check out other videos here on the Passive Path, and I'll see you in the next one.